Cool. Yeah, my name is Brian Fowler. I'm president of Blind Creek Resources Ltd. Thanks for taking the time to come hear our story. Yeah, the slide you're looking at right there is the company's flagship property, the Blend silver lead zinc deposit situated in north central Yukon. The obligatory cautionary statement. Blind Creek has 100% ownership. The company owns 3 major projects in Yukon and Northwest Territories in BC. The company has 2 100% owned drill-ready projects, silver lead zinc projects in Yukon, Northwest Territories. One of them is the Blend, which is the largest undeveloped carbonate-hosted lead zinc silver deposit in Yukon. The company recently announced spinning out our 100% owned Engineer Gold Mine into Engineer Gold Mines Limited, and I'll tell you a bit about that in a bit. The company has 25.7 million shares issued, 29.1 million on a fully diluted basis, and 43% of those shares are held by company insiders. So everyone's aware about the buzz about zinc right now. It's hit its highest level in 10 years on March 12th, 140% over the price back then from 66 cents a pound. This is primarily due to supply concerns, strong demand from China, and decline in inventories. Zinc is a very versatile metal. It's used primarily for galvanizing steel. It's rebar, manufacture of structural steel, automobiles, and more recently has applications in fertilizers, batteries, and renewable power storage applications. The current fundamentals for zinc are very promising for sustained high levels of good prices. The company's projects, the Blend property is situated in north central Yukon. It's 65 kilometers northeast of Mayo, and our second silver lead zinc, our lead property is the AB property, situated just over the Northwest Territories border. It's about 70 kilometers northeast of Mayo and about 260 kilometers west of Norman Wells. And Engineer Gold Mine is situated 32 kilometers west of Atlin in the northwest corner of BC. Getting into the Blend property, it's accessed by our winter road, the Wind River Winter Road, from Keno, the historic Keno Hill, Keno City, and during winter months, and portions of that winter trail occupy the recently approved ATAC Raw project tote road. It's an all-season tote road that they plan to construct from Keno City to their Tiger deposit. Blind Creek's Blend property can be accessed by 24 kilometers off of that by upgrading 24 kilometers of existing winter road. So we're very pleased with the access and with the recent developments. So what the company did in 2017 was we conducted a program of drill core density determinations and some preliminary metallurgical scoping studies focusing on basic pre-concentration flotation studies for all the mineralization types at Blend. We remodeled the geology of the deposit and put together a 43-101 resource estimate that was just recently announced last month. We've had consultations with the local First Nations, the Nacho Dun. We're very pro-development and pro-business in the region, and we applied for and received the Class 4 quartz mining approval and 2-year land use permits. The Blend property was formerly owned by Billiton during the period of 1989-1991. They came out with a historic estimate at the time, about 19.6 million tons, about 5.8% combined lead zinc with 2 ounces of silver. The property's seen over $9.2 million in past exploration. 5.2 million of that is to Blind Creek's credit. And the total drilling to date on the property is 132 drill holes for just under 25,500 meters of drilling. The After Blind Creek's work with geological modeling and more revisiting the deposit, and Blind Creek had drilled an additional 39 drill holes in between 2006 and 2008. We remodeled the deposit and commissioned Moose Mountain Technical Services, and we announced our maiden NI 43-101 resource estimate of 32.98 million tons of 5.03% zinc equivalent, inferred with 3.65 million tons of 5.18 zinc equivalent indicated at a base case cutoff of 2% zinc equivalent, which equates to roughly just under $40 Canadian NSR cutoff. This combined resource represents more than 1.6 billion pounds of zinc and 1.5 billion pounds of lead and 38 million ounces of silver, or 34 million ounces of silver, which is a pretty awesome endowment for a company that's got a $5 million market cap. The resource is confined to two open pits, pit shapes that are approximately two kilometers apart, and they remain open at depth and along strike and below the reasonable prospects of economic extraction. The blend is a unique silver lead zinc deposit in that it's open pittable. Most of its analogs or other projects out there right now are underground projects, but there's some distinct cost advantages related to an open pit type operation. This slide just provides a few aerial views of the deposit. The west zone, the lion's share of the resource is in the west zone. You can see mineralization outcrops. There's all drill holes, and then the east zone is at the bottom. This is the other part of the resource. Central zone there's no resource there yet, but we just need to do some more continued exploration. And then Shanghai on the very bottom on the bottom right. So geologically, lead zinc mineralization occurs as sphalerite and galena and sphalerite, and confined in a structural zone that trends northwest southeast. It's been traced over 6 kilometers. It forms a core of a folded anticlinal structure that's been mineralized by this. So the host rocks are Proterozoic, and it's a very old mineralizing system. The system itself is about Proterozoic in age. The next few slides will provide long sections. The pits, the west zone and the east zone are there, and the next few sections will show you. This is a long section on the west zone, and you've got the 2% zinc equivalent in light blue, and the purple represents greater than 5% zinc equivalent. The takeaway here, you can see the proposed pit outline, is that there's a lot of room within the pit for additional mineralization. It's just simply nothing there because it's a lack of drilling. So we can, there's great upside to increase the resource within the pit as well as outboard of the pit. The east zone, similar story, similar thing. You can see that it's a smaller resource, but there's great upside to expand it. Part of our metallurgical program, the results showed that the blend mineralization responds very well to conventional ore extraction techniques. Concentrate grades nearly doubled with dense media grades and metal recoveries, and we're getting to 70% zinc, 80% lead, and 90% silver. Differential flotation performed, provided very encouraging results without the need for fine grinding. These are all really good things when you're talking about mining. This slide just illustrates the targets outside of the main pits in orange, so there's excellent potential and there's simply just a lack of drilling. Our next projects, briefly, the AB property in Northwest Territories. It's 100% owned as well. It's a 20,000 hectare property. It's drill ready. It's 263 kilometers west of the Mackenzie of Norman Wells, and it has had $4.5 million of previous exploration, 30 known targets on it, and it's got potential for a world-class deposit. Some of the mineralization or views of the property. past work has defined 2 drill-ready targets 3 kilometers apart. One's a kilometer long. It's got some historic drilling in it, shallow drilling, and surface trenches with 69 meters of 10% zinc. And the AB zone has a drill hole of with 3 meters of 12% zinc. Large IP anomalies have been defined, and this is drill ready. Our last project is the Engineer Gold Mine. It's situated just west of Atlin, and in early January this year we announced the spin-out into a separate public company on the basis of 2 shares. For 2 shares, Blind Creek gets you 1 share of Engineer Gold Mines, and that whole process there's a meeting, special meeting with shareholders on the 22nd next week, and we're to vote on this. We have interim approvals for this, and we expect Engineer to be trading by mid-June. And Engineer it's a historic high-grade producer. It's produced 18,000 ounces of gold, 9,000 ounces of silver at 39 grams per ton gold, 18 grams silver. There's a high-grade resource, small high-grade resource that includes 20,000 ounces of 60 grams per ton. It's an inferred resource. The company closed a $750,000 private placement in March, and yeah, like I said, we're expected to list in June. Just some slides. And so in summary, what Blind Creek intends to accomplish here is to complete the spin-out for Engineer, complete a financing that provide for extensional and step-out drilling on Blend this year, and obtain an exploration permit and do some testing, drill test the targets on the AB property. Thank you for your time. We're at booth 410. We got a really cool video that shows our resource at Blend, and welcome your attention. Thank you.